Hey, I just got home from an ice climbing trip in Italy and I decided to make a video what I had in my backpack. But at first, if you want to never miss a video from me again, subscribe, hit the notifications, and thanks. Okay, 3 things I have to say. First is I do rope soloing, so the setup is different from normal ice climbing setup. 2, I'm not a pro climber, I'm still a beginner, so it's also different than a pro climber's setup. And 3, this setup is not suitable for everyone. So I'm not telling you what you need, I'm just showing what I personally brought or what I personally bring for rope soloing or for ice climb rope soloing. Okay, keep this in mind and have fun watching the video. As an underwear, I'm often using merino underwear. It's made from a mesh fabric. The function of this mesh is so amazing. Yeah, I just cannot really describe in English right now how it works, but it keeps you warm, and even if you sweat a lot and then you stop, all those air pockets will allow it to still keep you warm, but it doesn't only insulates and heats you up. It has got a really cool function. I've got this for top and for bottom. So for my pants, I also have got this Brunje of Norway thing. For my feet, merino socks, in this case from Armadillo Merino. Now on top of the socks, I have got category 4 mountaineering boots. So they will fit full automatic crampons. They have this edge here and on the front. They're from Hanwag, the Hanwag Centauri. They are insulated, if I remember right, to -20 degrees, and I really like them. On my pants, or on my legs, I've got pants from Klettermusen. It's the Durin 2.0, if I remember right. Yes, Durin 2.0. It is made for ski touring, so it has got the reinforcements down here. Also cool for the crampons, because then you will not cut in your leg or step into the pants and make a hole in it. It also has got really big ventilation zippers on the sides and big pockets. It's a hard shell pants, so it will protect me from wind and from the water. This is really cool, it's still breathable. But yeah, in most ice climbs you can stick to normal soft shell pants, which is fast drying but not waterproof. But this time I decided to choose this because it is early season and I was not sure if it will be wet or not. The belt is a really lightweight one. Now to my upper body. This mesh stuff only really works if you have something over it. For this, in most cases, I'm using a thin soft shell jacket. In this case from Black Diamond. Thin, it protects from wind and it's really breathable. Because when you pack too much clothing on you, you sweat too much, and if it's too much sweat and you stop, it can make you freeze. For when it gets wet, because maybe the waterfall is pouring water on you, I also bring a hard shell jacket. In this case from Arctic Sleeve, the Alpha jacket. It's waterproof. It's made from a robust Gore-Tex material and has got a hood that will fit over a helmet. This can come in really handy because when it's really wet, you will also put the hood over your helmet. Now to my headwear. I have got this thin merino balaclava. It protects my whole neck, my face if I want, and also my head. So this is really cool because it's not too thick, it's only a thin liner. I also really like thin beanies made from merino wool, but this balaclava is still compact and the function of it is amazing. Especially because you can cover your face with it, and this can come in handy when it gets windy and cold. Then a windproof beanie. It's by Arc'teryx, as you can see, it's windproof. Sure, the hood on my soft shell jacket is also windproof, so this is optional, but I really like it. When it gets really cold in long breaks or when ascending, I bring this merino wool beanie. It's self-made by my girlfriend and will protect me from the cold, because on the head you can lose a lot of heat and this will prevent this. Talking from the head, yeah, a helmet. It's a lightweight one by Black Diamond and it will fit over my head wear. And it's easy to adjust. This is what is really important. To the gloves. I at least bring 2 pairs. One thicker one and one thinner one. The thick ones, sadly I cannot remember the name, by Arc'teryx, a 2-liner glove. So it has got an outer liner made from Gore-Tex, so it's waterproof. Even underneath this leather there's Gore-Tex, and the inner glove is made from a fleece, so these gloves are really warm and they will keep my hands warm. Even when climbing or even when belaying. Yeah, they are not as warm as down mittens, but for me right now they are enough. When it's a bit warmer or I need some more breathability, I can use these thinner gloves. They have thin leather on the inside and on the outer side some windstopper, fleece, soft shell-like material. They are from Outer Research, the Paradigm gloves, and they work quite good when it's cold enough. But when it's wet, they will get wet and they will soak up all the water. Then these gloves are better because the Gore-Tex material is waterproof, so these will keep my hands dry and these can protect them from the cold and from wind, but will not keep them dry guaranteed. Here I've got an isolation jacket. It's not a down jacket because when it gets wet, down will not work that good, and I'm alone, so I don't have to do a lot of belaying and waiting until someone finishes the route or whatever. So this thin insulation layer will be enough for me. Okay, that's it with the clothing. Now let's skip to the next one. In my pants I have got bars, at least one. It's for snack, extra energy when on the move. They're empty now, so yeah, I always bring the litter back with home. The key to my car, my mobile phone, it's not here because right now I'm recording the audio with it. I've got a GoPro since I am a blogger and I need to have the GoPro with 5 additional batteries, so I have enough battery life to film my whole trip or tour. The mount for the helmet to attach my GoPro to with the arm, so the angle is even more interesting. Here I have got a small emergency headlamp. It has got a small whistle on it and white and red light. The cool thing is I have this in my pants all the time. So even when I lose my backpack or I need light, suddenly I have this in reach. Okay, this is what I have on my body. Now to the day pack or to the small backpack. I'm using a Ciezo 28 from Arc'teryx. Here I've got a temperature sensor from Garmin, so you can see the temperature which is around me right now. It's cool when I'm testing insulation jackets, then I can see in which temperatures they work. I really like to bring hot tea or at least warm water, but yeah, the insulation bottle is relatively big. It fits 1.9 liters, so it will keep me hydrated a whole day, and this stuff inside here, or the water inside here, will not freeze up. Yeah, it's additional weight, but I like to drink warm tea when ice climbing. For drinking warm tea, I have to bring this cup if I don't want to drink directly out of the bottle, and with this foldable cup I can even put some snow inside, then pour some hot tea on it, and then I have even more to drink. Inside the backpack is this emergency BV bag. It's only for one person because I'm alone, and it can protect me from hard winds, or if I have to do an emergency bivouac, then I can use this to stay warm. A whistle to make noise if needed, something to light fire when I'm cold, some sports tape. It's good for small wounds or to tape a finger or to repair things. Some cord also to repair things. A small file with a round side and a flat side. This is good for sharpening ice tools or crampons. The tourniquet. This is to stop critical bleeding. Yes, I'm originally from the military, so that's why I really like tourniquets, and it can be useful and it's not that heavy. Some alcohol wipes to disinfect small wounds. Yeah, that's more like a joke. That's a children. I'm not sure how to call it, but I think you will get the idea. If someone is complaining a lot about small things, you will get this. So, yeah, okay. Emergency blanket, something against. I'm not sure how the word is. When your shit is liquid, you can put this in your butt and it will stop it. Some ibuprofen, it's against headache, and some disinfection or water disinfection tablets, so I have enough water. Of course, most ice climbs are not that far away from civilization, but if they are, water and fire or heat is crucial. This all fits inside this small bag, so that's my first aid kit and also some kind of survival kit. Additionally, I bring a SAM splint sometimes. It's to splint a broken arm or ankle, but yeah, it's like only additional. And the cool thing about it is it stiffens the back of my backpack even better. So it's got double use, and yeah, it's optional. It's optional. If you don't want to bring it, don't bring it. I personally like to have it. Then toilet paper, really important. Bonbons to have some sugar and calories. Additionally to the emergency headlamp, I have got my pants. I bring these two headlamps. Of course, you can also only bring one headlamp with a spare battery, but when your headlamp fails or you lose it, then you will be f***ed up. I bring one. It's not that bright, but it has got a nice white beam, so it's cool to climb when it's dark because you can see a lot, almost like it's day. And the second one has got a brighter light, so you can light a bigger distance. Sunscreen, speaking from the sun, of course sunglasses. Okay, so that's, or most of this equipment is inside the small backpack when I'm climbing, and the other things are on my body. Let's get to the hardware climbing related equipment. Yeah, it's ice climbing, so at first let's talk about the crampons. Those are fully automatic crampons. So I have got this in front and the lever lock on the back. And I really like those Petzl Dart. They are a monopoint and relatively lightweight, completely made out of steel. And I improvised anti-snow thing underneath, so the snow will not stick to it and build up, because then you can lose grip and this will be dangerous. Now we have grip on the feet, grip for the hands. For this I need ice tools. Those are the Petzl Ergo. So it's the older one, the newer one is the ergonomic. They are really aggressive, so they are more made for like hard dry tooling. But I got them for a good price on eBay, so I decided to use them. And now I'm using them for quite a while. Ice climbing, and it works. But sure, the Nomic or similar ones can perform better in climbing ice. I like to add extra weight, so I have those extra weights and the hammer for also extra weight, so the swing is more effective. Now we have the grip. Now let's talk about protection. In ice climbing there are no bolts, or yeah, okay, at some ice climbs there are bolted anchors, but on the ice itself there are no bolts, so you have to bring ice screws. How many you need and how many you bring all depends, and there are so many factors and preferences. Some people prefer only the short ones or the longer ones or the even longer ones. So yeah, I have got a relatively big rack. In rope soloing you have to keep in mind you have to build an anchor below for lead climbing, and then you have to build an anchor up on top. So you have to bring the anchor ice screws and then additional ice screws for the climb itself. When it's early season you may have to consider bringing short ones like those 10 centimeter ones. Yes, I got this one, but it's mainly for testing because I'm not quite sure about this thing. Yeah, so I have got this extra one for testing. When it's early season or there's some rock included, it can be helpful to bring some nuts. So I've got this Wild Country lightweight offset nuts. Can come in handy. By the way, this one is to see how deep snow is. It's mainly important if you dig somewhere or if you want to rescue someone and want to find him underneath an avalanche or under snow. So yeah, in this setup, it's optional, but I brought it. Okay, that's it with the ice screws. Now to attach my rope to the ice screws, I bring extenders. You can see I bring a lot of extenders. Now let's talk about them. At first, small ones. And I have to tell you about those carabiners. They are by Edelrid. They are the 19G carabiners. They only weigh 19 grams, one carabiner. The extender itself weighs around about 50, if I remember right. Small ones, a bit longer ones. On rope soloing, you don't really have the problem with rope drag, but if you have too much zigzag in the rope, when you fall, the energy will not be transferred to the whole length of the rope, so you also have some advantage if you use longer draws. Okay, so a bit longer ones, even longer one, then extendable ones. They can be used for ice screws which are like far on the left or far on the right, or even on small trees. Sometimes I bring 2 extra ones. I only have a limited number of these ultralight ones with the bigger carabiners, the Petzl Grigri, because these long ones can be used for so many things, and that's why I like them. Then for ice climbing it can be important to bring extenders with some kind of a shock absorber. Here I'm using the DMM ripstop. The shock absorber, as the name says, does absorb some shock. So there are sewings, and when I fall on them they will rip open and this will absorb some energy. I will use this for screws which are questionable. So when I'm not lucky with the placement, or when the screw is only a short one, or the ice is not optimal, then I can use those ones.
Das ist hohl dahinter. Nicht gut. Das ist nicht optimal.
Then 2 shoulder length slings from Dyneema with non-lockers. They're cool for extending something. I could even build an anchor out of them, but I don't prefer it. I mainly use them for belaying on trees. So I can place this around a tree or a rock, and then I can clip my rope to them. So yeah, that's a lot of extenders, but better have 1 extra than running out of extenders and then have to climb some dangerous pitch without being able to protect you. Now, some more hardware. For rope soloing with a single rope, yeah, at first, sure, the rope, that's not optional. I'm using from Maxim ropes, a 9.1 millimeter rope. And for this single rope, belay technique, I am using a Grigri. This is the Grigri Plus. I like it because you can adjust the spring tension, and so it will lock even faster than a normal Grigri does. On locking carabiner with this rubber thing by Petzl, so it cannot twist or rotate around the whole carabiner. It's important to keep in mind when the rope freezes up and is stiffer and covered in ice, the Grigri will not work that good, or maybe even will stop working. So for rappelling, and I could even climb or lead climb with this belay device or with this tube. But I will not talk about this technique because I haven't tested it a lot and I have never seen it somewhere. So yeah, but in emergency I could. And of course for rappelling I will use this tube. Also on a locking carabiner. Now to my belay setup when top rope climbing, because in rope soling you have to climb up. In lead climbing, then build an anchor, rappel down, and then climb up and top rope. So for top roping I bring two ascenders or two devices, because one is not redundant. So yeah, one is a Ropeman 2, but sometimes I'm using climbing technology, roll and lock. And the second one is a modified ascender, because I like the way it works and the rope slides through really easy. I have some videos about top rope soloing on my channel, just check them out. Yes. Here I have got a HMS carabiner with ball lock, so it's also auto locking. Now 2 Prusa cords with one carabiner. The second one is when I lose the first one. I still have the second one, and also gives me some more opportunities. I got this elastic neck strap. It's for the Grigri to hold it up when I'm lead climbing. Yes, you would see it in my video or in other videos why people use elastic neck strap. Then some rubbers. This can help you to take out slack from the rope, because when rope soloing, the rope has got the weight and will pull itself down the whole time. And then it's possible that you have a lot of slack in the system, and to avoid this, I use these rubber bands. They can rip open when they fall, and they are strong enough to hold the rope up. Okay, to locking carabiners, to have some more opportunities if I'm building an anchor or if I want to secure the rope to me. So I have two locking carabiners. In most cases I will use one of them for when top roping, because then I don't have to use these two devices on only one carabiner. I've got leashes. There can be the situation where you don't want to climb leashless, or where I don't want to climb leashless. That's why I bring them. They are light, compact, and this way I can climb with leashes if I want to. Now to the things I need for building an anchor. I bring some cord. This is Aramid or Kevlar cord. I need 2 of them to build the anchor below and the anchor when I reach the top of the pitch. Yeah, why don't I use the rope? If I have a 60-meter rope and I need like 2 or 250 meters of rope to build the lower anchor and then the top anchor, I will lose 5 meters of reach, and 5 meters climbing rope are heavier than 5 meters of this. So I bring this, and it even gives me a lot of opportunities, because I can thread this Kevlar cord directly to the ice screws, so I don't need carabiners on the anchor. But to clip the rope to, or to attach the rope to, I'm using those anchor rings, because they can be loaded multi-directional and I don't have to care about if they get cross-loaded or something. So I use them, and in that way it's safe. Sometimes I also include a shock absorber to the anchor. Then, in case of a fall, when the stretch of the rope is not good enough. This will avoid me to put too much pressure on the ice screw. Okay, I clip this to this lightweight locking carabiner, and yes, you have seen right, here is some extra accessory cord, a knife and a Belikov tool. This Belikov tool is self-made, but I just used it and it's not strong enough in most cases, so I don't recommend use something thin like this. Yeah, a knife to cut this accessory cord. This accessory cord is mainly for Belikov threads, because then I can leave this behind, or even when rappelling from a tree or from branches or from a rock, you sometimes need some extra accessory cord which you can leave behind. Now to the harness. I'm using this one by Arc'teryx, and I'm using this daisy chain-like thing from Crivel with a locking carabiner on top to attach myself to the anchor. On the harness I have got those carry tools by Petzl. They are made to attach ice screws to. On each side I have two of them. The front one is a small one. On the side I have got the bigger one, the Evo, and there I can store my ice screws. The ones in front are usually the short ones, or ones I want to clip or use quite in the beginning of the climb, because on this position they can be annoying. And on the back I have got one more. Here I will clip the ice screws and material for anchor building, so it's almost impossible to climb and use the ice screws which I need for the anchor. So yeah, all in all, 5 carry tools, 2 small ones, 3 Evos. Here I have got the pouch from the Beal Escaper. The Beal Escaper is cool if you want to rappel 60 meters and you only bring a single rope which has got a length of 60 meters, because usually if you double that up you only can rappel 30 meters. This can be annoying. With this you can rappel with one strand of rope, and you attach this to the anchor and you can relieve it, retrieve it. Sorry, I don't really know the word right now, but if you pull on the rope, this will loosen and then it will let the anchor go and your rope will fall down with this. This can save time and it's a really cool feature. I really like this. The other method would be to bring 60 meter tack line, then you use the 60 meter rope with the 60 meter tack line, but yeah, it's up to you. I'm sure 60 meter tack line will be more heavy than this Beal Escaper. And yeah, I think that's it. That's it. I hope I didn't forget anything. Of course, I hope you know this is not what you have to bring or what everyone has to bring. It's what I brought and what I personally decided to bring this time. Yeah, okay, that's it. So thank you for watching. Hope you liked it. Feel free to give me some feedback, but please stay technical and don't hate around. So if you don't like anything of this, that's okay for me. And if you don't like the video at all, show me you can do better if you want and post the video yourself. Although others will like the video, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and see you next time. Bye.